Good afternoon. Thank you for being here with us today. This is the Finance and Globalization Roadmap and Strategy session. I'm April Olson. I'm the Group Program Manager for Dynamics 365 Finance. And Sergey will introduce himself when he starts talking about the globalization strategy. We're going to split the session kind of in two parts. I'm going to go through what is coming from finance and what our strategy and focus is. And then I'll hand it over to Sergey. He'll talk about the globalization roadmap and do some great demos for you that I think you'll really enjoy. So first, we're going to kick it off with Dynamics 365 Finance. So for me to get a feel for in the room, how many of you are currently, your organization is using finance or finance and operations? Okay, less than, maybe half. How many of you are prospects? Okay, and then how many are looking maybe to upgrade or evaluating that? Okay, so pretty good feel. So there's a lot that's changed for those of you that are looking maybe to move to finance and operations, and we certainly aren't going to be able to go back from the beginning of time since it's been in market for a few years, but I am going to talk more about what is coming. So the first thing is, for those of you that are prospects or what you're looking for, is really what Dynamics 365 Finance is it's really going to solve some of the problems that you see here on the slide. The problem of legacy systems and all the challenges you have around finance with disparate data, tools that are not allowing you to grow and scale that you need to for your organization. And the big part of it is, what about all the regulations and risks and threats that you have with the changing economy? And we're going to really cover some of that today with our strategy. So just a few slides here that just kind of cover 365 Finance, because as you did see, we now have our own SKU, and so really the traditional ERP systems today are not really solving what we need for a digital economy. And I think with our strategy, and especially some of the demos that Sergey is going to show you, you're really going to see where we're moving more towards personalization and configuration and away from code. That's really allowing you to expand and really own that growth strategy on your own. So really, what does Dynamics 365 Finance allow you to do? It's key themes that you're going to see. We really want to help you reduce operational expenses. We have some great embedded analytics and reporting that allow you to do that. Unify and automate your financial processes. Automation is going to be a key theme that you're going to see here today in our strategy and roadmap. Decrease global financial risk. That'll be a key area Sergey is going to focus on there as far as regulatory. And then last, strategic financial decisions with AI. And this will be a lot of what I'm going to spend my time on today. So this is just a brief overview. The Dynamics 365 Finance SKU is very new to everyone, so there's some questions on what does that all include. So this is just a reference slide that you'll be able to download in case you do have some of those questions. So first of all, what's new in financial management? So when we talk about where we're investing, how many of you are familiar with our release plans? Okay, so we need everybody to be familiar with our release plans because it is our way of communicating to you what we're targeting from a product group development so that you're aware and you can plan for your organization. So our release plans come out in two phases, Release Wave 1 and Release Wave 2. Release Wave 1 will be anything that ships between April and September, okay? So 2019 Release Wave 2 just is out right now, and that will be anything from October to March, okay? So you can, and they're very fluid. We're going to add really small investments to major investments in these release plans. So it's something you can watch on our website. You can kind of monitor for the dates and how they're changing from a public preview to a general availability. So some of the things that you're seeing here today would be on those release plans. The first one is the top one, and I'll talk a bit more about this in a new slide, and we're going to have a theater presentation about it tomorrow, and that's AI in finance. And really what we're going to be announcing is a preview for you to be able to take kind of the first step. We're investing in machine learning and AI in finance to really predict when customers will pay around an intelligent cash flow forecasting scenario. So I'll get back to that. Revenue recognition. This is what we just released. Came out in our October 1st release. And this allows for companies that are more focused on a subscription type economy where they have different bundles to be able to comply with those IFRS 15 and ASC 606 guidelines. Credit management. This one is not released yet, but we have a very active Yammer group where we're doing a lot of pre-builds and early access essentially for our customers. What our credit management is, it's really allowing you to minimize the risk because you can set up different risk groups based on different criteria, based on the risk tolerance of your organization. Once these groups are set up, these credit limits can automatically get assigned to customers because as you're growing to hundreds and hundreds of customers, this is not something that any finance organization can maintain. So by automatically assigning these based on the rules that you've defined for your organization, they will get assigned and all the downstream processes are automated. Someone hits their credit limit, all the blocking and everything that will happen that you would expect to happen will. So that's something that's still coming, but we're very actively getting early customer feedback on it. I don't have a date on the next one, but billing schedules is something that was also queued up that we're targeting. And that will, again, kind of goes with more of that subscription type economy where you can basically set up your billing to occur on a different level or at a different time frame than maybe even what you recognize that revenue. And last is usability enhancements. These are some of like when I said on those release plans we have smaller items. We have a lot of usability enhancements we're constantly adding in the product. And these enhancements come from our ideas site. They might come from my team sitting down and watching our end users do common everyday tasks that you would expect in finance, and maybe it's taking too many clicks, maybe it's a little too complex, it's not automated enough, and we're constantly making those types of enhancements as well. So the last thing I really want to cover before I hand it over to Sergey to do some more demos and talk about globalization is our investment in intelligent cash flow forecasts. So this is probably what I would say is our big theme coming between by around the April timeframe. So this would be, again, in what you'd see in the release plans is that 2020 wave 1. And what we're doing here is, again, this is part of what I'm going to do with a theater session tomorrow on the preview, is all the inputs and the outputs that you would expect around a cash flow, all the automation and tasks that you want to take so that you increase the cash flow for coming in is going to be automated in what we're calling insights and automation around intelligent cash flow forecasting. So let me just talk about a few of these. The first would be customer payment insights. So this one will actually demo at the theater session tomorrow. And we are using AI Builder, which you might have heard about. And we are basically going to be shipping templates or models based on each one of these aspects of the cash flow forecast. Okay? And what it's going to allow you to do is predict when your customer is going to pay. Are they going to pay on time? Are they going to be a little bit late? Are they going to be really late? So that's great. What do I do about it? What actions do I take? Maybe those collection tasks automatically get kicked off based on this information. And essentially, you can bring in external data that might impact other aspects of the cash flow that you don't have in F&O. And essentially, in the end, you'll have a very factual, accurate cash flow forecast that's going to allow you to make strategic decisions for your organization. So each one of these kind of aspects in this diagram are things that we're investing in to really bring this vision together. So that's some of the things that you'll see at the theater session, and that's some of the stuff that you can look forward to for next April. After that, automation is just going to continue to be a key theme. Anything that can be touchless can be automated. We are just going to continue to constantly enhance, add intelligence around, and so on. So that's kind of what we have coming for finance, amongst other smaller things that we'll definitely talk about when they get closer. But for now, I'm going to hand it over to Sergey, and he's going to do some demos and some explanation on the globalization strategy.
Okay. Thank you very much, April. I feel a pressure about the demo you mentioned. So my name is Sergey Shvedov, and I'm in charge of globalization for finance, supply chain management, and retail functionality. And I will talk about strategy and roadmap. There are three key components of our globalization strategy. We ship localization or globalization functionality directly from Microsoft, and we also work with partners, supporting partners who add on top of our functionality for different countries which we don't cover, or even within countries where we cover base functionality, they extend to certain regions or to verticals. And the third component is we provide globalization tools and services to make globalization easier, and both for us, but also for our partners and customers who are extending or building globalization in areas where we don't cover. If you look a little bit deeper into each of these areas, we provide localization for 37 countries, regions, and translate in 42 languages. We also do legislation monitoring in these 37 countries and issue regulatory updates in time for the deadlines which different governments impose for us. Sometimes it's not that easy, right? Because the deadlines are quite tight. A couple of cases they were even in the past. So the second component, localization by partners. So we support our partners who are publishing their localization solutions at AppSource, and there is a process called curation. And if you go to AppSource right now, you can see about like 30 or something localization solution for finance operations there, and they are for different countries and different continents as well. And again, the third component, which is globalization tools and services, we provide configurable globalization. We talk a little bit more about this during this presentation, which is a key component of our strategy. We also have discovery and alert services on LCS. Because legislation is changing a lot because of government changes, right? We have a service called Issue Search on LCS, where you can go and you can see what is available and what is coming in terms of regulatory updates and for multiple versions. If you don't see features which should be coming, you believe, for certain countries supported by us, there is a special alerting project which you can subscribe and you can submit this alert, and we will be handling this with a priority. And the third component here is translation service. Translation service done by the team, not by our team, but the team which translate majority of Dynamics 365 and Power Platform services into multiple languages. And this service for partners and customers to translate their solutions, and it uses a Microsoft machine translation and also translation memory technology to make it efficient translation. As I mentioned, configurable globalization is a key component of our strategy. How many people in the room heard about electronic reporting? Okay, it's quite a good number. So we ship electronic reporting functionality 3.5 years ago when we first shipped AX for cloud. It was AX 7.0 at that time. And we made it to make it easy because localization, more or less, and we ship it for key areas, which is electronic invoicing, payments, and regulatory reporting, which is key areas where we see a lot of changes of legislation as well. And later on, when India introduced its new tax law called GST, we also introduced a very flexible configurable tax engine and built India GST functionality on top of this. And what is coming in this 2019 Wave 2 release or October release, what we ship already is configurable business document, and I show a short demo on this. So all these key areas, and these key areas, what is mentioned on the slide, in the middle of the slide, they cover about 75% of localization features. But what is interesting, the changes which coming from government, almost 95% of the changes coming in these areas. So we basically made configurable most frequently changed areas of our application. So it's a power user interface, it's no code experience, it's a business user even for business document type of changes. It's version independent. There is all these electronic document formats. They're connected to the model, data model, which is not X specific. It's more like a business type of model, and then business model connected to multiple versions of database. For example, we obviously, for India GST, we submitted the same, we have the same configuration for Dynamics 365 Finance, but also for previous versions of AX, like AX 2012 R3, but even AX 2009, which was supported at that time. So we see quite a good uptake of this functionality by partners and customers. We ship about more than 200 configurations for these 37 countries. And what we see that partners and customers created more than 6,000 configurations for more than 90 countries, this area. I think a configurable business document is one of the key features from globalization perspective, what we are shipping in this 2019 Wave 2 release. And there are two main components which it has. First, we are shipping for key business document, which is in the system like invoices, orders, order confirmation. We are shipping Excel templates and also Word templates, which coming later, and multiple variations for different countries there. The second component, we are providing business user experience. We call it Phyllis persona, but also it's any business user type person, and Phyllis is accounting manager who can do basic customization of these templates. And also the third component, Simon experience. This is something what we had before. It's traditional electronic reporting functionality which existed for more than 3 years in the system, and obviously Simon can do much more with these documents. Here the list of configurable business documents what we will be shipping. Some of them already released. We ship more than like 20 templates already, and about like 50 of local variations for these templates, and they all publish. It's a no-code experience, so it's like XML file published at LCS and shared asset library. And there is a small link on the bottom of this slide, and slides obviously will be shared with you. You can click and you can see the detailed schedule of these templates when they're coming. I think probably it's a good time to switch to a demo and show you a little bit configurable business document, how it works. Let me switch to another machine. Okay. So this, I am right now in a main dashboard of finance operations and of finance system, right? And there is a new tile called Business Document Management here. By default, you don't see it. You need to enable Business Document Management in Feature Management, what April mentioned. Before, as soon as you enable, you can see this tile. If you click at this tile, you will be in this Phyllis type of experience in workspace for business document management. And there are plenty of templates which either Microsoft provides or I think the organization provides for the Phyllis. And I am dealing with free text invoice as a Phyllis. I'm playing the role of Phyllis. And I want to customize. I have a template provided by Microsoft. It's nice, but I want to do a little bit of customization of these templates. What I will do, I will just click on New Template and create a customized template for me. What the system does, it's just does a copy of this template and brings me into the Office online experience or Excel online experience. And if I want actually a little bit more functionality, I can clean open in desktop application. This functionality integrated with SharePoint, so it can work in Office desktop as well. Let me do a little bit of modification here. For example, I can insert simple logo here. And I will do a little bit like colors, add colors to my template, nothing really special, some basic functionality. That's it, right? I'm done with, as Phyllis, as a business user, I'm done with my simple changes. Then I go to free text and voice workspace, and I want to print my free text and voice, selected free text and voice in this new template. To be able to do it, I first need to tell through the print management setup that I will be want to use this new template, because by default there will be a SSRS template here. So I can do it here most likely. Yeah, I still don't see it here. It takes some time. Let me just go to print management again to make sure that I can see this document. So right now I can see my Contosa document. That's it. Then I go to print and print selected free text and voice. So what's happening? Electronic reporting engine behind the scene generates the Excel document using the data connected to this Excel template. And let's see if it works. Yeah, I have my logo, and I have my piece of my template highlighted as well. So let's do a little bit more complex functionality. For example, what if I want to add some data on my template? Obviously, as a Simon, I can do a lot, but as Phyllis, as a business user, I can add these changes into the template as well. So I go back to my Office Online or Excel Online, and let's say I want to add website information here below this email. Let me just use this copy styling functionality. Let's see, it will be web here, and I will have copy styling for the website. So I want to add just a new cell, and let's call this cell website. When I do this change right now, what's happening that this functionality cell will be added into the Excel spreadsheet as a name range, as a basic Excel functionality, and it will be connected with template structure, which is part of electronic reporting functionality. So as you can see, this website is added here, right? But right now, I need to tell the system what kind of data I want to put into this data. So the core concept, one of the core concepts of electronic reporting is data model. Every template connected to a data model. And because in this way, we make templates, these electronic reports and business documents independent on the data behind this, right? So different database structure can be connected to data model, right? And then data from data model coming to template as well. So I have my data model for invoice here. And I know that information which I need, it's in base invoice, and here I can see I need a company information. It's the structure is quite complex of this model, but it's a standard UBL structure, electronic invoice structure, which we put here. And then we have website information. So what I need to do is just I need to bind them. So as you can see, I basically binded this field on the Excel with the data model. So that's it, what I needed to do. I will save the changes, what I made, and it takes some time. And I will be going back to free text and voice workspace, and will be printing this document again. All right, so I back to free text and voice space. So I don't need to change anything in print management because template is the same. I just added data there. So I just print selected again and see if it still works. Okay, it's again, electronic reporting engine generates this using new template already. So we have web and this web name in the place where we put it here. Okay, and the last component I want to show, and for people obviously who use electronic reporting, they know this electronic reporting interface and Simon experience. But if you want to do much more with this template, but still without coding in electronic reporting functionality, which exists since the very beginning of cloud, our cloud AX or cloud FNO. So when I go to electronic reporting, there are a lot of data models and a lot of configuration behind them. This is what I mentioned, 200 configuration features for electronic invoicing, payment, regulatory reports, what we are shipping. Here they are all presented in this tree. I just go to my electronic invoice model and I see free text invoice. Free text invoice is something what we provide out of the box as Microsoft. What Phyllis did, actually, Phyllis derived this free text invoice Excel Cantosa from our box. And right now I will open, as a Simon, I will open it in Designer and can see and can do much more what Phyllis did. For example, I can, actually I have all the attachment. I can build, add much more fields completely in a desktop version of Office. If I want to do it quickly using name ranges, I can import them using import functionality into this Designer, and system automatically understand what is the delta between fields what introduced, and I can quickly then map them in this experience. Or I'm not going to do it right now, obviously, right? But what I will do, I just find what Phyllis did, right? She actually added a website field here, and I can see it here connected to data model. What, for example, what I can do in electronic reporting design, I can edit formula. There are very powerful like formula functionality here, and we use a lot of functions which are similar to Excel functions to make this business user experience. And one of the Excel functions, probably you know, it's uppercase. The website name was printed in a lowercase, but I want uppercase for some reason. So this is what I just put it in uppercase and close it. And then I also save the whole configuration. So electronic reporting just created a new version of these configurations. It's probably will give me a couple of warnings which I can just ignore right now. And then I can go to free text invoice again and do printing again. Again, nothing changed from the template, so I don't need to change anything in print management. I go to print again, print selected free text invoice, and see what I get there. Hopefully, website will be in capital letters. Okay. Yeah, so this is, and obviously there are much more complex things what I can do. This is, again, this is a short demo and electronic reporting, and this configurable business document, it's a, I would say it's a small, not to reduce our effort what we did, but it's based on top of electronic reporting functionality. As April mentioned, we are doing more configurability, personalization, not only in globalization, but in globalization it's extremely important because of these frequent changes which we have with regulatory functionality. So let me switch back to deck. So there are a few features what we are shipping. Obviously, one of the biggest features in globalization functionality It's a configurable business document, what we are shipping. Also, my team is very often not very well presented in this release plans, because a lot of stuff what we are shipping is like regulatory updates. And as I mentioned earlier, this is something what you can find on LCS using discovery service. But we did several improvements in these areas. For example, we simplified configuration management, and this feature what is we are releasing in this way. For example, right now, you need to publish configuration through LCS, but we are making it easier, sharing configuration with partners, what partners and customers do directly through regulatory configuration service. We also simplify some text configuration extension for India, and we did a couple of functional extensions for Dynamics 365 for retail, such as management of customer registration numbers directly from point of sales for India, and also introduce call center localization functionality for Eastern Europe. You can find all this information. There are a slide call for action, so you can find all this information in release plans, what April mentioned, and there are some quite a lot of information in the deck about this. So I think we have some time for questions as well. Please feel free to both finance and globalization, right?
Please use the microphone so that any recordings can pick up the questions as well. No questions? Oh, we have one. Thanks for being brave.
We depend on projects quite a bit.
Can you maybe bump it up a little bit, the microphone? Sorry, it's just a little bit hard. Thanks.
We depend on project accounting module quite heavily. And I don't know if you know anything about it, but it looked like there was going to be a lot of flux coming to that module with the project groups and contracts, things like that. Is that, I mean, I saw the beginning of it in the release notes, but I haven't seen anything since then.
Okay, great question. So the question is around what's happening with project if you're using heavily project functionality. There is actually a session this week. I don't know if you're going to be here. I don't know exactly the day and time, but Gurkan Salk, who is the group manager for specifically around project and all the changes and all the enhancements and the goodness that's coming to project, there'll be a session on it, and I'd probably kind of direct you to him to be able to more intelligently talk about all the investments that they're having there. Yep, he owns all of project, the entire project roadmap, project accounting, project, anything that has to do with managing projects and so on. And if you can't find it, I can try to help you. I believe it's on a Thursday or Friday session. Okay. Great.
Any more questions?
Yeah. Any other questions?
Well, I guess if we're going off topic a little bit, just so roadmap-wise, it seems like so payroll is kind of doesn't have a lot of direction going forward, but adding new features of time and attendance. Can you maybe speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So for those of you that aren't aware, we announced the discontinuation of the U.S. payroll in finance earlier this year. Essentially what that means is we actually extended the modern lifecycle policy for a whole extra year around finance and operations, where we are providing U.S. payroll tax updates. And so it's a little bit strange, but my team's actually responsible for publishing these tax updates, and we use a Symmetry tax engine for that. Core HR, Human Resources, has a whole strategy around payroll that they're kind of owning going forward. So I think, I'm not sure if they have a session here or not, but they just had a theater session right around lunchtime before I came up here, where they were talking about the integration with Ceridian. I know they're constantly working with others, and there's some great ISV solutions out there as well that offer payroll. And so that team's kind of owning the strategy going forward. Their strategy is to work on integrations and rely on that community. But from a finance perspective, October of 2021 will be the last time we offer the specific U.S. payroll tax updates. One of the main questions I'm getting is, does that mean the payroll module is going away? Because we have a lot of customers and partners, especially like in Eastern Europe and across the globe, that have extended it for the specific rules of that country. We're leaving the payroll artifacts intact because we do have partners that have extended that quite a bit. So we're not going to be enhancing it. We'll review extensibility requests as they come in with a lot of scrutiny, but it's just the US tax updates that will be discontinued. So that's kind of been a point of confusion that we wanted to clear up. But definitely follow core HR or human resources for their time and attendance and their strategy around payroll integration. They have a lot of great investments coming. It's very, very exciting, so definitely follow them for any future looking areas there. I know Brandon just did a theater session. I think he has one. I'll get your information. I'll send him a text after and find out when it is. So if you just come up at the end, that'd be great.
I've heard that the project model will be not in the finance, Dynamics 365 for finance anymore. Is that true?
So the question is on, will the project module not be in finance and operations anymore? I'm also going to direct you to the project session to answer any questions on that. I'll let Gherkin kind of talk about their roadmap there, so I'll deflect.
The session is, so to look at the schedule, the project session is Thursday, 2 p.m., and the session code is 2270.
2270, Thursday, 2 p.m. Project, everything you want to know about project accounting, project roadmap, Thursday, 2 p.m. Thank you, Sagita.
There was something planned about automatic ledger settlements, but I know it was taken out.
Yes.
Any plan around that?
Yes, great question. So one of the things that we had on the release plans was automatic ledger settlements. Yes, I will take full credit that I am the one that completely deprioritized that functionality. So we did that functionality in two phases. One is we introduced a new user experience that allows more dynamic filtering, searching, finding, and marking on the ledger settlement piece, so not ARAP. We got that out in the field. We had some usage on it. As you saw, we have a big push on AI and ML and automation. And so to kind of focus the team on getting that, the second piece of it, the automation part, has been temporarily deprioritized until we land some of these bigger things. And so we're kind of tracking the demand and usage of that. To be honest with you, we didn't have a whole lot of feedback on it, which is why I made that decision. Because we were getting a ton of feedback on, we really needed to get the automation out there around the cash flow forecast. We were getting very little customer interaction and feedback on the second piece of the ledger settlements, and so I am the one that made that decision. But if you are interested in it, I would like to get more on your requirements and stuff, because it is something we'll probably bring back. It's just a matter of when, and based on priorities, so. Okay. Okay, that's really good to know. So yeah, if you could give me your information, that would actually help us to make sure we're investing in the right things. That would be a great help to us. So I'll get your information here at the end. Yeah, thank you. Great question.
You have implemented derived dimensions a few months ago or years ago. Are there any plans to enhance this functionality? Let's say selecting or being able to select the company account or the posting type or the ledger account, for example. Are there any ideas?
And what area was that? Did you hear?
Accounting
Derived dimension functionality.
The so derived dimension?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so you implement it. Your question is, are we going to add more around that?
Yeah, more possibilities to select the ledger posting. Let's say only if dimension in combination with a ledger account or a posting type derives then another dimension.
That's a great suggestion. So the question is, we had introduced some derived dimension functionality for those of you that aren't aware in an earlier release, where you can essentially set up dimensions that kind of build off other dimension values. So if I have a business unit, I want a specific department cost center, just automatically default. And you have some capabilities around it to say, okay, maybe default, but the user can override it, or don't let them ever override it. I mean, it's a solid, hard-coded string. So the question was, are we going to add some more functionality around that? It's not planned between now and April. That roadmap is kind of set in stone, but that is something that we would, if there's a lot of demand for it, something that we could potentially look at for next year's plan. So not committed to right now, but something we would be very open to. Any other questions? Okay, if not, Sergey and I will be up here for a few minutes. Again, there is a theater session tomorrow at 12:05. I'm going to show the preview of where we're at with the customer payment insights. Again, that's that first scenario on the AI, so come check it out. If not, thank you for being here. Please fill out your evaluation, and then I have a couple action items to get some cards from a few of you on some follow-up items. So if you wouldn't mind stopping up, that'd be great. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.